Hi everyone, Mitch from SportsChatPlace.com, and it is Wednesday, February 20th, 2019, here with your free live show. Of course, we're here live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We have free picks on every single game, every single day at SportsChatPlace.com. Of course, our best bets always over at SportsChatExperts.com, as well as SportsChatPlace.com Premium and Premium Plus. If you're watching us on YouTube Live, we appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up. If you're watching us on our Facebook page, a better place to watch us is in our Facebook group. This way you can get involved in the conversation, not just for our live show, but all day long, as our nearly 8,000 group members and growing every day discuss games, picks, positive, negative, all that stuff all day long. Some people like to post their tickets from yesterday. It helps us zero. And what we do is we delete those guys. Or not those guys. We delete those posts. And we have a thread where they can put all those tickets in there. I personally don't understand it. But, it'd basically be like me every time I have a winning pick come on here and say, I won, look. It's like, I don't think anyone would show up for that. So why people would care about it in our group, I don't know, but of course I congratulate everyone on their winners, and we try and put everyone on winners. That's the whole idea of the show. Speaking of winners, I wanted to go over our Sports Chat experts and take a quick look at the leaderboard over there. I was told by more than one person in our audience and in our company that I don't acknowledge our cappers enough. So I wanted to start having our cappers more on the show. And our number one capper from yesterday was Kyle Campo. Kyle only does hockey. Of course, he did the free picks on Sports Chat Place forever in our hockey section. Still contributes in that effort. And Kyle's a great handicapper and plus 349 units yesterday alone. Chip Chirimbus, another smoking hot day. Chip's having a great week. Chip is a former Hilton Contest world champion. That's for the NFL Hilton Contest. Perfect day yesterday, 3-0. And Chip also up 756 units for the week. Chase Diamond, a nice day, up 295 units. Tony Karpinski up 200 units, and Art Arneson up 100 units. When we look at the month, Scott Rickenbach just on a tear. This guy has been on a tear for about 3 years. 1,516 units. Craig Trapp, red hot. This is after a really bad day yesterday. Still up over 1,400 units for the month. Cameron Ross, a former winner of our handicapping contest that we had for our readers, and he became a handicapper at the site, up 1,235 units for the month. Dana Lane, of course, you guys know him if you listen to the podcast, up over 1,000 units. And Joe D'Amico, no bigger personality in sports handicapping than Joe D'Amico. Personally, a great friend of mine as well. But anyways, just wanted to update you guys on that while we're killing some time trying to get some people here. Of course, lots going on in the sports world. We went over Colin Kaepernick yesterday. Manny Machado, $30 million a year. Padres, I can't figure out what's going on with that team. You know, I give up when it comes to professional sports management. Manny Sanchez with a shout out to Kyle for hockey. He has always been one of the best when it comes to NHL picks. I will always say that when people ask me who's the best NHL handicapper, I always say Kyle Campo, and I'll tell you what, I will put him up against any handicapper on any website on the internet for hockey picks, premium, free, any way you slice it. I would put him up against anybody, and I'd be willing to financially back him in any kind of challenge because he is that good at it. But anyways, if you guys are watching us on YouTube Live, if you could hit the thumbs up, greatly appreciated. If you're watching us on our Facebook page, you can hit the thumbs up. And also, of course, if you're watching us on our Facebook page, you might want to move over to our Facebook group. This way you can participate in the conversation, not just on the live show, but all day long. But if you're there watching us on the page, if you could hit the thumbs up, once again, greatly appreciated. But anyways, let's get to some free picks for today. We're in that time of the show. And the first one is I need my paper, right, to write these picks down for the recap, or else, boy, almost all my pages, look, they're all full of picks from all these shows that we do all the time. It's crazy, right? Look, I don't even have any free space. Let's see if I open this up and turn it inside out. Always a good trick for this stuff. My wife handed me a pad of paper. Yes, Carrie, yesterday when you walked by on the camera, you got a few comments. People said you were hot. I said, yes, she is. My wife says, oh, God. Anyways, $30 million for Manny Machado. Hopefully he shares that with some of the right people. It's a lot of money. It's basically $10,000 in that bat or more. But let's get to this game between Villanova and Georgetown. Of course, these teams played on Super Bowl Sunday. This was the game with that foul with 1 second left to go in the game. Villanova hit the 2 free throws and covered. We had Villanova, so we didn't care. It's like about any bad call or, the way that it was played out or whatever. We liked the way that it played out, and we would take that kind of playing out again. Meanwhile, Villanova coming off of that loss against St. John's, but when we look at this, Villanova's actually lost their last 2 road games, losing straight up at Marquette, but covering the spread. We had Villanova in that game, getting a 1.5. Didn't opt out for the money line or anything on that. We took the 1.5, and it came in handy as they lost by 1. Meanwhile, last time out, we had them, and they were favored by 4 against St. John's. Ended up losing the game by 6 after leading most of the first, leading the first half and really looking convincing most of the way. I don't know. I don't like the way Villanova is playing right now. We know that in the past, this is a team that, they're up by 4. You look down for a second, you get up to get a glass of water, you come back to the screen, and all of a sudden they're up by 20. We started to see that out of Villanova, against St. John's the first time around, Xavier. We saw it against Providence, but man, we haven't seen it in these last 2 road games. The thing is, I think the teams that they played on the road a little better than the teams they played here. What worries me here about Georgetown is that loss to Butler 2 games back. Last time out, losing at Seton Hall, there's no shame in that, I think. But the home loss to Butler by 4 in a game that they were favored by 2, I think they're playing a better Butler here, playing a Villanova team as we turn into late February, March. I think Villanova always more of a factor. This is where they live. I'm going to take Villanova. I'm going to lay the 5.5 points, which is a little to the high side, but we'll lay it, and we will tread lightly on that one. Of course, we do at least 3 free picks every single day. Our best bet's always over at sportschatexperts.com, as well as sportschatplace.com, Premium and Premium Plus. I'm not seeing the Facebook comments, so I'm going to have to reload this thing, see if that works. If you guys notice, it looks like we have fixed our camera problems over at over for these live shows, which is good stuff. But of course, if you guys are watching us on YouTube Live, if you guys can hit the thumbs up, it'd be greatly appreciated. If you're watching us on our Facebook page, please hit the thumbs up as well. Takes you half a second, costs you nothing. Costs you nothing, but helps us a bunch and keeps the show free, keeps me going. Of course, our experts, like I said, red hot. When we look at the last week, it's been the Chip Chirimba show, really. Mike London has been heating up. Kyle Hunter, the king of the totals, and Brian Bittler, who often comes on the show and comments. I'd like to get him actually as part of the live feed with a split screen, have him actually on the show. I don't know, for some reason we've never really been able to put that together. We've talked about it plenty, but for some reason I'm not really sure why. We can't seem to get that figured out, but would eventually like to get Brian on the show with me. But anyways, we do at least 3 free picks on the show. Our best bet's always over at sportschatexperts.com, as well as sportschatplace.com, Premium and Premium Plus. But let's get to another free pick here. And we will head to the game between Boston College and NC State. NC State has been so up and down all season long. It's a team like if they win by 50, no one's surprised, and if they lose by 50, no one is all that surprised either. It's that time of year where we start to pay a little bit more attention to the bracketology stuff and see where NC State figures into Joe Lunardi's bracket. Joe Lunardi has them as a 10 seed in the East, and a loss here would certainly damage that. But I think that we're getting too many points with Boston College, which makes it just the right amount of points for us. I'm going to take the Boston College Eagles and the 10.5 points. That'll be our second pick for today's show. Of course, I always do at least 3 free picks, and when I say 3 free picks, when I say at least 3 free picks, usually it means a lot more, unless it's a really light schedule. But of course, the NBA gets back in action tomorrow, and I think it's I always say the NBA All-Star break is a little long, and that's why we have all these back-to-back games. We have all these back-to-back games because lost my thought track. We have all these back-to-back games because the NBA extends this All-Star break so long that that they need to do this in order to eventually get to the playoffs. Of course, the NBA All-Star break is not in the middle of the season exactly, but Brian Wiseman just mentioned the consensus report in his comment, and what I'm doing right now is I'm looking for a pick for from the consensus report to give out on the show, which not something that we normally do, but I will take an NCAA pick from the consensus report to give it out on the show. So today's consensus report pick, maybe we'll do this more often. I always say I'm going to do it, but I never do it. In this one, Tulsa is the consensus report pick. I don't agree with it. I don't have a pick on this game, but Frank Haith, to me, is a coach that can coach his way right out. I don't even know what the point spread is on this game.
Introducing the new Capital One Saver.
Someone we have on has a video, and it is. Oh, I see who it is. These idiots. That was ESPN when I looked up the bracketology for that NC State. They decided they're going to hit us with a video with sound. I mean, people complain about my stuff. I was wondering. So Tulsa is actually a site for NCAA tournament games, but Tulsa not in the tournament right now. Definitely on the outside looking in, and they're well on the outside. They're not even on the bubble. They're not even on the mention. So I got a real idiot here. And thankfully nobody even saw his comment because his comment was so moronic that YouTube blocked it before it even got to out here. Yeah, if Chris Brower, if you have a comment like that, the place to put it is in my email, not on the show. Basically, what's going to happen now is we're going to discontinue your premium membership, and we're going to refund you. So that's the way that works. Because when I was on, when I hit 3-0 on Monday, and when I hit 4-2 on Sunday, so when I was on a 7-2 run, we didn't hear you say one word, right? So yesterday, in games that yesterday I was 2-4 in the premium. I'll tell you exactly what happened. I had Purdue, I had Iowa, I had, the other teams so those are two teams that really let a lot of people down. I had Ole Miss, which I'll tell you what, if they played that game again today, I would take Ole Miss again. It's just one of those games. It's just going to happen. But anyways, our consensus pick is Tulsa minus 1.5. That's from the consensus report. We do at least 3 free picks on this show. Our best bet's always over at sportschatexperts.com, as well as sportschatplace.com, Premium Plus. I like DePaul against Creighton. Hating that Creighton defense a ton. It's a pick'em game. DePaul is definitely an improved team this season. They're not quite at the tournament level, but I'll tell you what, if they have a strong finish, they play in a pretty good conference, they could probably make a case for themselves, and they probably have a schedule that'll get them there, especially with the way the new system is set up. But we'll take DePaul here in a pick'em game at home, and just seems almost too easy, that one. Yeah, Purdue was ridiculous. Purdue should have won. I don't understand that shot selection in that Purdue game. To me, it's like, I understand losing. I understand, well, they won the game, but I understand teams, playing on the road against a rival and all that stuff. Even though they're the much, much better team, I understand the game being competitive. But when Purdue's taking 40-foot shots, 40-foot shots, one after another. I mean, come on, give us a break. Carson Edwards was 2 of 20 from the floor. And he's still just shooting. Looked like John Starks in Game 7 of the NBA Finals against the Rockets. That's how bad that was. I like Arkansas plus the 12 against Auburn. Hogs have risen to the occasion a few times. Just 4-4 against the number on the road, but Auburn just 8-5 against the spread at home. 5-5 against the spread in their last 10. So they've hardly been world beaters recently. And they beat Vandy last time out at Vandy, covering a 9-point spread, but they had lost their 2 prior games to an LSU team that's absolutely struggling right now, and to Ole Miss, who lost last night. Meanwhile, Arkansas has lost their last 3 games. They haven't covered in 4. Their last cover was when they blew LSU out of it. Well, they beat them ended up winning by 1 point, but as a 10-point dog at LSU back on the Saturday before the Super Bowl. I like Arkansas here, though, plus the 12 points. Jay Giordani, John Starks in Game 7. Yeah, it was that was really one of the worst shooting performances that I can remember, where a guy just couldn't hit anything. He just kept shooting, and it was just like, what are you doing? Take Nevada minus the 8 against San Diego State. Nevada's just rolling. This team is 24-1 this season, 7-2 against the number on the road, 8-2 against the spread in their last 10. I know San Diego State's been playing a lot better recently. 16-9 overall, but 12-2 straight up at home, 7-3 against the spread in their last 10. We know the Aztecs, traditionally a tough team, and traditionally their crowd shows up for games like this. San Diego State has won 6 of their last 7 games, but Nevada's won just a ton, covering big numbers. I'm going to take Nevada here. I'm going to lay the 8 points, and that'll be our last pick of today's show. Of course, we are here every day. We do at least 3 free picks. Our best bets always over at sportschatexperts.com, as well as sportschatplace.com, Premium and Premium Plus. Took Villanova minus 5.5, Boston College plus 10.5, Tulsa minus 1.5. That pick we got from the consensus report. That's not my pick, but it's the pick from the consensus report. Today, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. If you have the consensus report, we have 10 games where there's a consensus on the game that are on the consensus report. At least as of right now, that number could easily go up. DePaul in a pick'em over Creighton, Arkansas plus 12, and Nevada minus 8. Of course, we went over our hot cappers. We always have a hot capper over at sportschatexperts.com. I know today's a big college basketball day. Take a look at the hottest college basketball capper over at Sports Chat Experts for the season. The hottest college basketball handicapper this season has been Dana Lane. He is up. If you bet all of Dana Lane's college basketball picks this season, if you bet $100 on every game, you're up $2,861. This is Mitch. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day, everyone. I will see you guys tomorrow at the same time.